There's a lot of seasonal importance placed on May Eve and May Day, basically the day before and the day of the 1st of May. This is tacked on to a decent amount of a lot of modern spiritual systems using the Gregorian calendar. And a lot of very significant things happen around what is roughly the beginning of May, or the end of April. But this is a time of year that is generally considered to be, oh, it's starting to be summer, or at the very least fall, depending on which season, culture, etc. is happening in a geographic area, or are recognized by the historic cultures that these would have been important to. Obviously, this includes the Bieltana Fire Festival, most commonly called Beltane. Neither are incorrect pronunciations, just whether you want to use the Irish name or a more anglicized name, it's referring to the same thing. The Roman Festa Floralia. This festival was dedicated to the Roman goddess, well, Flora, for actually getting the protection for the spring blossom plants, and just in general was a jovial plebeian holiday. It was a break from work, though some evidence would suggest that this break included divination specifically about, your business and work ventures. Flora, as the name implies, was a goddess heavily associated with flowers, so the seasonal aspect of it all. However, was also associated with S workers, SMEX workers. I don't know if I can say this stuff safely on TikTok. But those kind of workers were also in theater, so she was also associated with theater, and so performances were really big for this festival. There's obviously some complications with the, ancient Roman calendar versus the modern one, but many organizations will also celebrate such festivals on the 1st of modern May, or May Eve. And across Europe, it's always been seen as like a drunken revelry day, such as the maypole tradition, live music, and often the conduction of fertility rites, and enacting what those rites are about. Symbolic battles happen quite frequently. Embodiments of winter and summer, basically either actually fighting or play fighting each other in some fashion. Usually it's something along the lines of like medieval historic wrestling, professional wrestling, where the representation of summer would always win out, and they would be set upon the place of glory. Now, this has gotten a little more streamlined into specifically the May Queen winning and taking the throne. And oftentimes, the May Queen herself would be a normally maiden from the village who had wholesome beauty, as opposed to sultry beauty. Being a fertility festival, a lot of divination methods are also used about a variety of locations, normally in search of future partners. In England, unmarried boys and girls would stare into wells at exactly noon, and there were a variety of things that could be seen from it, such as seeing yourself in a coffin would meant that you were supposed to become deceased within the next 12 months. If you see nothing, then you're not getting, a significant other for at least a year, though some implications would seem forever. But the idea is that the image of basically your reflection or someone else's would kind of blurry, fizzle out, and create an appearance of someone. There's also a very interesting method of basically conjuring a lover, where a girl would toss a ball of yarn into an old cellar and it would basically, unwind and do the whole thing. And while you're stringing the ball up, you would say, I wind my true love to find, the color of his hair, the clothes he'll wear, the day he is married to me. So before the ball has been completely wound up, a man is supposed to come help you, and that is your future lover. The 1st of May is also a very important day to basically boil herbs. Those herbs, together with a few hairs from a cow's tail, ensures that butter will be safe from interference by witches and fairies throughout the coming year. It raining on May Day is also considered to be an omen that if you own a farm, that your farms won't produce half the milk as you had last year. There is also an Irish tradition still practiced by a decent amount of practitioners where on May Day you do not sell or give away salt, water, or fire, as this will bring ill luck to you. May Eve is also called Walpurgis's Night, which across Europe is considered one of the 2 days of the year where the world is effectively given over completely to the forces of evil. This is somewhat obviously a post Christian belief, as the other is Halloween. So there's quite a lot to take into account from that, but does bring up a lot of very interesting things to, well, bring into the witchcraft. As no matter what, it was considered at the very least auspicious to either be casting spells or holding festivals and ceremonies on those 2 days.